So welcome. I thought it'd be quite a fun little idea to find out how much my games are worth. I've kind of got a rough estimation to how much they're worth, and the website I'm going to be using is the CEX website. It's available, I think, worldwide, because I've got a lot of friends that swear by it. This is the best business ever, and I'm a bit, I don't really know. Is it good? Is it bad? So I thought it'd be quite a fun little idea to make a video, edit the video, put it together to see roughly how much my games are worth and how much CEX will give me for the games, because obviously they're not going to give me the value that they're going to sell them for. They're going to give me quite a small percentage of what they're going to sell it for. So you can split value into multiple different categories. You've got the category of, have you got a history of that game? Have you got a lot of memories with that game? Have you ever overrided your uncle's Nightmare Crisis when you were 10, 18 years ago, and I still feel bad? I don't feel bad at all. And the second one is, what is the cash value of that game? So when I take it to CEX, how much are they going to give me cash, or how much are they going to give me credit? Obviously, there's two different types there. Obviously, the cash will be less than the credit, and the credit will be more than the cash. That's how it works. Something quite sad is there'll be quite a few games that I love, that I've played a lot, that aren't necessarily going to be worth anything to the shop. They're going to give me the bare minimum for that game type. And obviously, the more people that like the game, it increases the value. Crash Bandicoot, for instance, is worth £25. They wouldn't give you £25, but in the shop, if you bought it, it cost you £25. Great game, love it, like most of the people. And obviously, other people like the game, therefore increasing the value of the game. So obviously, there's going to be some games that I love, that if they're not worth anything, it means that no one else likes them. Talking about games that aren't necessarily worth a lot to a shop, but mean quite a lot to me, because there's a lot of history to the game, or more specifically, this exact game. This is Brian Laura Cricket. Now, it's not necessarily a good game. It's produced by Brian Laura, who's a cricket player, I hope. No, he got 375 runs in a game of cricket once, and they gave him a game. That's how easy it was to get a game back in the day. And this isn't necessarily the best game, but it actually comes with a letter from Codemaster that you won't be able to see. And the letter basically explains that we're really sorry, we've sent you a dodgy copy, or you've received a dodgy copy. Please take this new fresh copy. So this game came from the head office of Codemaster. It isn't necessarily worth anything, but it's quite interesting that this and this are combined, and that wouldn't increase the value to a shop. So if I went to a shop and said, oh, look, I got this, it's from Codemaster, they wouldn't go, oh, brilliant, here's another 50 quid. They'd go, okay, in the bin. It wouldn't mean anything. So something went wrong with the recording of me doing the next bit where I introduced me scanning through the games. I don't know what happened. I must have deleted it, or it's a dodgy file or something. But the original bit that I put into cue the montage of me scanning the games no longer exists. So I now know how much my games are worth, but I'm going back to film the bit. So you don't know, but I know. So let's find out together how much my games are worth.
This took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. Some of the games wouldn't scan because of the stickers covering it, or for some reason the barcode wouldn't scan. And I've only filmed the newer games, as the older games I had to type manually, and it took hours of me sitting on the sofa, and that wouldn't make a good montage now, would it?
So I've done all the scanning. It took about 8 hours. That took quite a long time to scan them in and enter manually. So I've got an exact figure. I had a figure before I'd done it, but we messed up. We'll move on from that fact. So if I was CEX and I was selling the games that I own at store price, they would be selling them at about £2,000, slightly over, about 2,100. So about £2,000, which is quite good. I'm quite happy. I don't know how much I've paid for them, because I've bought these over the last couple of years of my life, just eBaying and whatever. If I went to CEX and I tried to trade these games in for cash, they would give me £650, which is £1,400 less than they're going to sell them for. But obviously they're going to give me the cash today, where they could put these on the shelves and they don't sell for weeks, maybe months, even years potentially. So they'd give me £1,400 less than the value of them. If I said, can I have a voucher, they would give me just over £1,000, which is kind of okay considering they're giving me that. I reckon if I was to sell the voucher to a friend, I could get about £800-900 quid for it, which is more than a cash value, and obviously my friend's getting a good deal at the same time. So there we have it. There's a kind of cost of what they'd give me and what I'd get for it. I'm kind of happy. I kind of see why they would offer such a low offer. There's a few things that annoy me a little bit. Is when CEX sell a game that's cheap, they'll sell it for sort of 50p. They'll give you a penny for that game, which is 1/50th, I think, of the value of that game. Where if you went to sell Crash Bandicoot, for instance, that's £25, but they would give you £16 for it. So because it's supply and demand, I suppose, But the more value of the game, the more money they'll give you. Which of course makes sense, because a game that they're selling at 50p, they don't think it's worth anything. It might not be worth anything to you. It might be a game that you've collected as a kid. So I completely understand why they'd give you very little, because they're not actually making any money on that game per se. So would I shop in CEX? Yeah, of course. Love the shop, love the brand. I've sold to them quite a few times, and I buy from them all the time when I'm past and I see a cheap little game that I've always wanted. Or memory cards. That's at the moment, which I'm collecting memory cards. But yeah, of course I'd shop in them again. The value, yeah, I think looking around, they've given me the best options. Of course, shopping them, enjoy the shop, check them out. And if you've enjoyed this video, because I have, this has taken about 2 weeks, a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. I thought it was going to be a quick little jib, bam, done. But the process took us so much longer, all the editing the little bits out, and obviously you can see the jump cuts and stuff, because it's not been one take. I wish it was, but I am not that good. Hope you enjoyed the video. I know I have. If you have, stick around, leave a like and a comment and all that other stuff that proper YouTubers do. This is just me having a bit of fun myself. So hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't, you know, more for you if you're sticking around for 8 minutes or 9 minutes. But if you have enjoyed, cheers. Bye.